and it's great to be here. We appreciate the opportunity to come down. I know our players are pretty excited to be here at the Coliseum for our opening day. Can't think of a better place that we'd rather be here on October 15th. I did bring some of our friends down here with me, so I want to introduce just our staff here and our players very quickly. Coach Aaron Huffman and Coach Ben Howell. Our do-it-all manager Tom Morgan came down with us today. Players, let's go seniors here, Michael Lopez and Jordan Fee. We have a couple of juniors, Chris Morrow and Alex Falk. We have 5 sophomores here in Nick Brown, Keith Cockburn, Jeff Units, Mark Shadowlands, and Cedric Harris. We brought 3 freshmen, Sean Dyer, CJ Hester, and Mike Lamberti. All happy to be here today. The question I get asked an awful lot, especially by other coaches in this past year, has been, how do you average 111.5 points a game? Honestly, I can ask a lot. I can answer it all together right now. I really don't know. I don't know how you average 111 points a game. We did last year, but it was beyond any expectation that I ever had as far as numbers. I expected to score more points than the average team. In our style of play, we're going to score more points than the average team, but not to that extent. To kind of put it in perspective, there are 631 teams in Division I and Division II basketball. The other 630 teams scored between 58 and 89 points per game within that 30-point spread. And then 23 points away, we were at 111.5 points a game out there by ourselves. At the end of the regular season, we were averaging 117 points per game. Through the postseason play of our conference tournament, the NCAA regional, and the NCAA national tournament, we averaged around 100 points a game in postseason play, which dropped our average to right up around 111.5 points a game. In my wildest dreams, I would have never seen that coming. I can tell you this, a little bit about our system. I have never once talked to our team about we need to score a certain number of points. We need to score 100 points, 120 points. That has never been said. I will say with our style of play that I expect the score to be higher because there's going to be more possessions in our games. But not ever to that extent. Our goal is to score more points than the other team. Our goal is to win games, not to score points. And we never lose sight of that. I can say honestly, in 7 or 8 years that we've been scoring a lot of points, I have never once said to our team on offense, we need to shoot the ball within X amount of time, within the first 10 seconds. We need to get a shot off. I've never said that once to our players. Our goal offensively is to get a high percentage shot with guys in rebounding position. Now, granted, if you see us play, our offense is a very aggressive one. It begins immediately upon possession of the ball, is constant, and it puts continual pressure on the defense. But our object is to get a high percentage shot. We're not going to take a bad shot early. Defensively, I have never once said to these guys, we need to get the ball back within a certain amount of time, within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock or whatever. Our goal on defense is to get the ball back without the other team scoring. It's that simple. Now granted, yes, our defense is an aggressive one. We will keep pressure on the other team, on the other team's offense. We'll keep pressure on the basketball at all times. But we want the ball back without them scoring. You know, I read recently another coach that has a different type of up-tempo offense have made the statement that in that up-tempo system, we would rather the other team score early in the shot clock than for them to hold the ball for 35 seconds and not score. Well, that's definitely not our philosophy. And I don't know how you win games by doing that. I don't know how you beat a good team if all you want is the ball back and you don't care if they score or not. We need to get the ball back without them scoring. So that is not our system. We're not run and gun. We're not fun and gun. We're not the Grinnell system. I don't know, we're not any other system, to my knowledge. Everything that we do is homemade. Is homegrown at West Liberty. You know, if we resemble another up-tempo system, it is by a coincidence. You know, our system is something that we've worked on, and honestly, coaches have asked, what do you call it? Can you send us something? It doesn't have a name. I don't plan on naming it. I don't have anything on paper, and I don't plan on putting anything on paper. I'm not looking at making a DVD. Haven't made one, don't plan on making one. I'm not even that comfortable talking about it right now in public. I'm comfortable dealing with these guys in practice and implementing our system. But this is something we don't normally do. We know what we're trying to do. What we're really trying to do at West Liberty, this is kind of key and kind of work backwards from this. What we're trying to do is create a game of basketball where there are no laws in the action, where the intensity is hard and consistent and stays that way. And if you watch the game of basketball, if you watch a lot of basketball, you're going to see there are laws in the action. There's that point where it's very intense. There's a lot of the game that's not very intense. When you go to watch a game of basketball, you're going to see that time when the guy's driving the ball to the basket. He's been guarded by some guy who's intently trying to keep you from getting to the basket. There's some guy crashing towards for a rebound. That's pretty intense. But there's an awful lot of the game that has no intensity. There's the point where a guy gets a rebound, the defense runs back the other way, he hands it off to a guard, and that guard looks over at his coach, says, what do you want us to run, coach? And the coach tells him something, he signals, run this, run that, he walks up the floor. We're going through a period of very low intensity. If you can turn to your coach in the game and say, what do you want, coach? The defense is on the other end saying, well, we got to get stopped this time. They're communicating. It's not very intense. And a lot of this low intensity happens between the top of the keys here and that transporting the ball from one end to the other. Low intensity basketball happens all the time. Very common. We're trying to eliminate that. There's a part of the game where there's a medium level of intensity. You know, college basketball, you got a 35-second shot clock. A team comes down, and this is what you see an awful lot. For the first 20 seconds of the shot clock, you see the offense is kind of probing the defense, looking to drive a little bit of post up, but not overly intently. It's medium intensity, and they don't get a shot off for 20 seconds of the shot clock. And then all of a sudden, with about 12 seconds of the shot clock, you'll see some guard grab the ball, he'll walk out here, he'll pull it out, he'll tap himself on the head, the universal signal for somebody come set me a high ball screen, and all of a sudden some big guy comes out, starts to set up a high ball screen, the other three guys get themselves positioned accordingly, the defense says, okay, we know what's coming, get ready for the high ball screen. It's like everybody stops and announces, something's going to happen here in a little bit. We're going to set a high ball screen. It's going to get intense here in a second. We're going to try to score. But for right now, let's just all get organized here. So that goes from a period of low intensity to all of a sudden it's going to get intense. We want to eliminate that part of the game. And that's what we try to do. The numbers that have resulted from it, 117 points a game in the regular season, 111, that's the part that surprises me. If you can eliminate that part of the game where nothing really is going on. That's kind of what we're trying to do. And to do that, I think you need a couple of things. One, you have to get your guys to really play together as a team on the court, especially in this system. I'm sure that's true in every system. If your guys don't play together, you're not going to have a good team. I really feel at our level, and probably your level too, as you look around, every team's got some talent, and every team is pretty comparable. The key really often is, can you get them to play together really well? And in our system, our players make more decisions on the floor than any team in the country. offensively and defensively. If you watch our games, it's pretty hectic. It's not like there's a lot of set plays where coaches really designing things. Our players make a lot of decisions on the floor. And to do that, they have to respond to each other accordingly. They have to learn how to play together very well. I'm sure that's key at every level. The second part is you've got to get your players to play really hard. And I can tell you, your players aren't playing hard enough. My players aren't playing hard enough. They are not playing hard enough. And I think that what we've done is we've accepted a certain level and said, all right, this is the level that we accept as far as playing hard, and it's too low. It's way too low. They're not playing hard enough. You know, I think we even kind of say things sometimes like, you know, they gave 100%, which actually is not even humanly possible to actually play at 100%. That's what you're striving to do. But tell players you're playing hard enough, 100%. We tell them they can play at 110%. Well, that's even mathematically possible. But subconsciously, you're telling guys you played even harder than we want you to play. That's not possible. They're not playing hard enough. All you really have to do, you know, we tend to watch the basketball as opposed to a player when you watch a game. Break down your tape, and instead of watching the basketball, watch one player, the guy you think is playing hard. And you think, well, he plays pretty hard. Then you start to watch the tape and you realize, yeah, he could have ran that lane harder. He didn't sprint that lane. He didn't run that defensive lane harder. Could have set a screen there. Didn't use the screen very well there. Missed the box out on the boards. Didn't crash the boards. Got boxed off. Didn't fight the guy hard enough. There's all kinds of things he's not doing. Because actually, I think we tend to watch the ball so much that becomes maybe our focus. There's 10 guys on the court, and there's one basketball. And mathematically, you can say, well, each player has the ball in their possession 10% of the time. But actually, the ball's loose a lot. It's up on the rim loose on shots. The actual player only has the ball in their possession about 8% of the game. And we see that pretty clearly. And sometimes, I guess, we see the guy that's guarding the basketball pretty clearly, too. Well, you actually guarding the ball 8% of the time, too. So a player is either guarding the ball or has the ball for 16% of the time. So the question is, what are they doing the other 84% of the time that they're not with the ball or guarding the ball? Are they doing all those things that help their team? Are they doing effective things? When it comes down to it, are they really positioning themselves, setting their good screens, running the lanes, everything you can possibly do during that 84% of the time? And you're going to find they're not. They're not doing what they could do to help you win the game. I'm going to do one quick demo here with the players that really involves playing hard and intensity, and it has to do, this is just a snapshot. I'm going to bring the guys out here and put them in position. This is just a snapshot of just one situation. There's a million things that could happen. I just picked one of them out as what I think is a pretty good example here. All right, the scenario here right now is Cedric Harris had the basketball, go ahead and give him the ball, and all of a sudden Michael Lopez has stripped it out of his hand. And he's going to be heading down the other way for a layup. And he's going to go as fast as he can. Obviously, Cedric is going to try to run him down and keep him from making the layup. That's what's going to happen here. This happens a lot in the game. The question is, what's everybody else going to do? What are these guys going to do? Are they going to react quickly and go sprinting down? Because in this situation, a lot of times he'll miss that layup because this guy will make him miss the layup or he'll block it. And when that happens in a game, usually there's one guy that's there to pull the rebound down. Could be an offensive guy, could be a defensive guy. Who knows? A lot of times all of a sudden you see him miss it. Here comes an offensive guy, come down, boom, grabs it, dunks it right behind him. Where did he come from? Where was he at when this stuff started? That's the question. Go back on the tape and say, where did he come from? Was there a guy on defense beside him that didn't run as fast as him? I guarantee you that. Some guys run hard, some guys don't. Well, the point here is, if he takes off from a layup here, any guy out here, any of these other 8 guys, if they took off running at full speed and reacted quickly to the situation, they would be there to catch the ball if it came off the rim. I don't care how far away course not that big. And to do that, we're going to prove this by when Coach Husband hits the whistle, we'll take the guys the furthest away. I want Keith Cockburn, when he blows the whistle, he's going to take off sprinting. He's going to make the layup, and he's going to catch it before it hits the floor. Proving that no matter where you're at on the floor, you would be there to get the layup. You get a rebound. Ready, guys? Go hit the whistle. Easy, just jogged in. If this was a game situation, there would not be all these guys down here waiting for a layup. They all could have been there. I guarantee you, every guy here could have been there. But he sprinted. He reacted pretty quickly. So what do players do? Because they're not all down there getting a layup. Well, I can tell you what they do. I'll tell you one other thing they don't do. This is what's unacceptable. If you were standing back here on defense, and your buddies lost the ball, he would dribble down for a layup, they couldn't just stand here and watch it. Because if everybody went down the court and he just stood here and watched it like this, he'd be in trouble. From the fans, from the coaches, so that's unacceptable. He didn't run back on defense. Well, he didn't. He stood there and watched. We won't do that. And none of them will do that. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to do what's unacceptable. But they'll do what's acceptable. That level that we say, yeah, he ran, but he didn't run fast enough. And what he'll do, he'll run at that level that won't get there for the rebound, but he'll get into the backcourt. That's about it. Like this. Here's what will normally happen. All right? We're going to have Mike run this time. Ready? Go. On the whistle. And that's where he's going to be. You think, well, he didn't run fast enough. Watch your game tapes. And this is how guys run. They don't run and sprint. They just kind of run just enough at that acceptable level. And the acceptable level of running right there that Mike just did is no different than almost standing down here and doing anything. That's not going to do you any good. They have to run hard. Okay, we're going to get these guys warmed up for drills here in a minute. I want to do a few drills that we do at West Liberty. And I will say one thing about the drills that we do. I try not to put anything on the court that I can't rationalize while I'm doing it. If I can't rationalize a drill, if I can't say this drill is going to make us win basketball games, then I'm not going to do it. And I know by habit sometimes we do drills because this is a drill that I did when I played basketball, or I saw another coach do it and it looks good. But I don't want to do any drills for the sake of just doing a drill. I've got to be able to rationalize there's a reason why. There's a carryover between this drill and winning a basketball game. And I'll tell you, not just for drills. I feel that way about coaching in general. I don't think you want to do anything at all in practice. How long you practice? Where you practice, how you practice, how you coach in the games. I think you need to be able to rationalize it, at least to yourself. This is why I'm doing this. One example, I taught a class in coaching basketball at West Liberty. And I've always noticed that coaches, when they want a timeout, this is just one of the main things I've tried to question, and there's probably a good reason for it, but when they want a timeout, the coach might be standing here, the ball's down here, the other team just scored, he's like, I want a timeout, and he'll say, get over here, right here. Get over here first and call me a timeout right here. Not down there, I want it right here, this little circle right here. But I'm not sure why. Coaches probably have a reason, but I didn't have a reason. So I asked my coaching class, I said, you guys tell me. You see coaches do it. I saw a lot of great college coaches doing that. I see coaches, at all levels saying, come on down here. No, not there, right here. Call a timeout right here. Would you do that? That's the question I asked them. Would you do that? And they said, yes. Fair enough. Why? Why do you want it there? I don't know. Their only reason is they saw other people do it. That's not reason enough. You have to rationalize it to yourself. If you feel like, I want to take it out right here. I've got to play from here that I like. This is where, if I have any place in the court, I'd like to take it out. This is a spot, all right, I'll buy it. Bring it on down here and call a timeout. But if you don't have a reason, why do you do it? And there's a lot of things, from the drills we do, I don't know that we always rationalize it. I think you're better off to say there's a reason why I do everything I do. You know, personally, I like taking the ball to bounds underneath the basket. I think we can score from there. And I would say, you know something? I'm going to call a timeout. You other four guys, get your four down. I take my best ball hitter and say, dig it into the elbow. Call a timeout right there at the elbow. Let's take it out down there. I tell you what I'm going to tell my guys this year. I'm going to tell them, when you see that other coach, say, get over here and call timeout. I want you all over. I don't even want to let them get to that little circle right there. First of all, they're not looking at the basket anymore. They're looking at this circle right here to call a timeout. Let's make it a challenge for them. Let's see if we can steal the ball twice before they even find that circle here. I don't know. If you have a reason to call a timeout here, then you should do it. But if you don't, I say why. And I think that goes for every single thing you do, every drill. And I catch myself, we don't do a ton of drills at West Liberty. I've got about 10 or 15 I like. We do them to warm up. I find sometimes a carryover. You know, I've done the box out drills, just like we all done box out drills, but I'll do a box out drill sometimes, get in the game, don't box off on the boards. These guys, they know how to box off on the boards. I find out I've just start to yell at them. If you don't box the guy out, don't get position, you're not going to play. That play works better than a drill. So we try to do drills, I think, for warm-up purposes, and if I think we can get a little carryover out of it, we'll do it. The first drill we're going to look at here is just a warm-up drill we call a passing maze. Usually instead of just passing the ball back and forth, we'll try to pass the ball on the run. We'll throw some bounce passes, a few look-off passes. Go ahead and spread out here, guys. And I'm sure this is a pretty common drill for most people. We do it, I say half the practice as an early warm-up drill. We will run through. This is passing and catching. What we don't want here, don't want any basketballs dropped. I don't want anybody to walk with the basketball. We want good fundamental passes. I don't want guys catching passes at their knees. I want to hit and pass right here. Accurate passing. On the run, at full speed, make your lap, move around the other way. All right, all we're going to do is just run through it one time in one direction. These guys will run through, they'll throw 3 passes. The first time through, they're throwing chest passes. Second time through, they're throwing bounce passes. Third time through, everybody's throwing look-off passes. Everybody, stationary and runners. Remember, this is look-off passing, not look-off catching. Don't look back to catch the ball. Here we go. Run through it. Keep them running at full speed here. Second time through is bounce passes. Third time through is look-off passes. And as soon as this group would be done, obviously the passing group would go in and they would run the same thing. Then we'd reverse it and we'd swing it running from the left side. It takes probably about 11 minutes of practice time to go through the whole thing. So now in normal practice, the passers would rotate squads, stationary passers become running passers. We're not going to do that part today, just to give you an idea. The second part of this drill is the good part of the drill. And this, I think, is good as far as mental toughness. It's a great conditioner. This is one of the hardest drills I've found for conditioning. This is very difficult to do. We're going to just do a small portion of it. If you do the whole thing, it's a great physical conditioner, it's a great mental conditioner. And you know something? One of the toughest jobs we have is deciding who our players are. This is one of the drills that you can look at and say, I can see who my players are here. Who's toughest? It's pretty simple. They're going to do the passing maze, but now they got an obstacle in their way. They got a guy playing defense who's going to try to keep them from getting every single pass back and forth. So now offense has to get from pass to pass to pass, one-on-one, get to the basket with a defender on him. Normally he goes all the way around. For today's demo purposes, offense and defense. Go ahead and switch when you get to the backside, offense to defense. All right, here we go. D him up, let's go. Good job, Seth. Stay with it. Come on, Alex, get over. Get over. One-on-one. Take. Next group. Switching on the backside. You guys go ahead. Switch on the backside. Second, go ahead. Team up, Alex. If a guy gets ahead, don't let him touch your pass there. If a guy gets ahead of a guy can take off running, he goes ahead. Good job, Alex. Stay with him, Mark. Good cut. Come on, Sean, team up. Good cut, Jeff. So the basic here is it's just toughness. Get open, catch the ball. Pass and catch with the defender. This is passing base with defense. The second one is a pretty taxing drill. Go all the way around one time. Run it with your players, make them do a good job all the way around. Guys stays on offense and defense, and you're going to see how hard they're going to be breathing. The second drill has to do with basically half-court offense. You think, well, we don't run a whole lot of half-court offense. We push the ball down the court, obviously, as soon as we get it under control. No, we never pull the ball out. No, we never set anything up. We stay in motion offense. But once we're in a half-court set, we try to we run motion. We keep the floor space like everybody else. We function on good cutting, good screening, and teamwork, good passing. This drill basically is mostly a warm-up drill. It has V-cuts, footwork, angled screening, using screens, a little bit of passing and shooting. All right, come on out here. Let's go this way. Just form 3 lines. We'll use this button bucket right here. All right, just to kind of walk through the first group here. Guys out wide. Go run a V-cut down. Get in there about 10 feet. Hit, plant, pop out. We want a good accurate pass. All right, the screener, we want him to make a basket cut as opposed to screen away. You know, we screen away sometimes, but honestly, it might be the easiest thing to guard in the world is that pass and screen away. There is no way these two guys have become offensive threats if they screen away. It might occupy 2 defenders at best. And a lot of times, if this guy's going to take the ball to the basket hard, if he screens away, maybe we occupy these 2 defenders. But these 2 guys are not going to score by screening away. I'll tell you what they can do to help him score, though. If he makes a hard basket cut in here, can't get anything, boom, angles, gets a good angle screen, he comes off, maybe a curl, maybe a pop out, maybe a back cut. Now we got 2 defenders that got to make a decision on guarding people. You guys watch the Mountaineers plays, kind of looks like some I've seen their offense, 5-man motion. We've seen that cut here a few times. You know, it's 5-man motion offense. That cut's harder to guard than screen away. So we'll use that cut to practice. So all right, now we put the ball back to the top. On that, we'll V-cut again. Pop out. Let's run that screen again. He's going to back cut off of it. He's going to pop out, get a shot, and a back cut for a layup. Pretty basic stuff. Let's run through it here a couple times. Here we go. Good cuts. Instead of good screening angle, Nick, make a good back cut. This is footwork too. Let's work our feet. Here we go. Get your feet set for 3 there, Keaton. Good. One more. So obviously this is just warm-up footwork. All right, the second time through, let's work on curl cuts. This time instead of doing a straight cut or a back cut, we'll run a curl cut. And go ahead, same thing, start with a V-cut. Same screen, run a curl, didn't get there. Pop back, re-screen for him, King. Let's begin next group. Curl cut. Good, Alex. Another curl cut. Just working on screening angles and curl cuts here. If he can form this habit of a good curl cut and a good screening angle, we've got something off the drill. If we get into a game and we don't run good angles, we're not getting anything off of it. Go ahead, run it a couple more times. A good V cut, a good curl cut, another good curl cut. A couple more. One more. Okay, hold up. Like any drill, it's kind of tough to set screens. You don't know who you're screening. Screening needs a target. Just give them a couple targets here. Coach, give us 3 defenders out there. All right, let's go back to the straight cut now. Let's use a few defenders as targets. Give us some defense here. All right, here we go. Straight cuts. Now you got to get over. Get the screen on. We'll give them that last pass. For the sake of the drill, we'll give them the last pass. Clear it out. Go again. One more with defense. Straight cuts. Good. Good screen. Good. Good. Let's run some curl cuts. Go and keep those same 3 defenders. Let's work some curl cuts. Good screens here. Pop back out. Back guy rolls the basket, pop straight out. Here we go. Curl cuts. Good screen. Couple more. Pop up, King. Go get the ball. One more. Good. Okay, hold up. All right, obviously we're a transition team, and a lot of drills we do are in transition offense. We do transition series almost every day. We're trying to create some pandemonium with our style of play. I feel like it's a 2-part system. We talk about this a lot. Number 1, we have to get really good at transition basketball. We have to get really good at that when the game gets crazy. We're going to be the best team in the country when the game gets wild and crazy and it looks like things are out of control. We've got to get real good in that situation. And the second part's the hardest part. We've got to create that environment. We've got to make the other team play that. And sometimes they don't want to play that. They look at West Liberty, well, they're averaging 120 points a game. We're not going to play that game with them. And we're not going to give them a choice. They're going to play whether they like it or not. And that's what we have to do. And that's probably the hardest part. This is more into part 1. We're going to practice transition basketball until we're good at it. The other part has to do with defense. We're not going to let teams control the ball. And I know a lot of times as coaches say we want to play up-tempo basketball, but we couldn't make a shot to get into our press. We couldn't do this to get into the press. Well, you don't need it to make a shot to get into full court pressure. You can pressure under any situation. You're going to have to take a few chances, hopefully low risk, to make it happen. Now, I know a lot of people say we're going to pick them up full court man-to-man. We're really going to force a tempo. Then all of a sudden, here's what happens. Take the ball to bounds, pick up that guy man-to-man, you get the best ball handler, he's sending us, everybody get out of my way. Next thing you know, he's zigzagging the ball up the court, and all you've done is slow the game down. You haven't speeded the game up at all. you're going to have to take a chance. You're going to have to double it. And say, we'll double you here, but you're 80 feet away from your basket. By the time you rotate the ball around, we'll catch up. Because we're going to play hard. So you got to take a few risks, low risks. Risk versus reward. This part is working on transition basketball. What we're going to do, we're going to start off with a 2-on-1 drill. And we try to make it as game situation-like as possible. 2-on-1s don't last very long. If a 2-on-1 lasts more than a half a second, then the other team has guys that are running back on defense. So we put a trailer in. So we give the offense a good half to full second with a 2-on-1 situation. Then we put a defensive trailer in. He will start at half court, he'll touch the center line, and he'll team up defensive with his buddy. And if they don't get a shot off, if he goes 2-on-2 instead of 2-on-1. Now the difference in this drill is, after the offense is done, they will not trot off the court and get back in line to run offense again, be a man back on defense. They're going to be able to guard the basketball from the end line to half court to hassle their team to keep it from getting up to the other end. And if they steal the ball, they keep it on their end, 2-on-2. So we got two different teams here. We got the black team versus the gold team in transition. Play a game at 10. Coaches monitor each end, and they'll keep all scores out. They'll referee both ends. We call this transition 2-on-1 with defense to half court. All right, let's go to 10 here. You guys ready? Here we go. Here comes a trailer. They're 2-on-1. Easy bucket. Now they put the pressure on. Don't let them get the ball to half court. Team up, Chris. Stay with it. Now they're 2-on-1. We've got a trailer. Run him down, run him down. Trailer. Now they're 2-on-2. Come on, handle the ball. Be tough with the ball here. On your lane, Chris. Get a better shot for 2-on-1. Some guys that are nervous this morning playing the Coliseum in front of coaches, I think. Score! Team up, Cedric. Stays black, 2-on-2. What's the score, coaches? 4-2. Come on, team up, Mark. Run that down, Cedric. Finish. Come on, the 9. You need some goal. You need a turnover here. Where you at, Ben? 8-6. Hold up. Game. Game goes to 10. We'll run the exact same drill, 3-on-2. To run this drill, we're going to need 12 guys. Coach Hall's going to jump in. Assistant Coach Jordan Fee, injured senior, will take over on this end as a coach, monitoring fouls and keeping score. So now this is 3-on-2 with a trailer. Now the pressure for getting the ball back in bounds is a little bit tougher. This game goes to 10. Hold on a second. Who had the ball first last time? Gold gets the ball first this time. All right, here we go. Get enough shots. Let's get a good look. Gold ball. Way too many turnovers here. From day one, which is today, we're trying to do every drill we do under pressure, where you lose the basketball if you don't handle it well. Obviously, we're losing the ball a lot here. Set a screen there. Come on, Mike. Let's go, Nick, run. Everybody deny. Lock up. Lock this down. Stage goal. What do you got, Coach Fee? What do you get? How many? 9-9. Next point wins. There it is. Game. Okay, thanks, guys. Pretty sloppy. Opening day, a little nervous. Good work, go. Everything we do, we want to keep under pressure. This is a pretty good example of a drill. It's gonna look hectic. We can put drills on the floor to look as good as I want them to look. I can put a drill out there, we run figure eights down and back, get really good at it, but I don't think it's gonna carry over to the game. We try to do things, it may look a little bit ugly at times, but come game time, we're gonna be ready for pressure. We're gonna handle the ball, we're gonna be able to put pressure on other people. That's kind of what we're trying to do. Well, first of all, I'm not sure of the time here, Coach Hahn, how we do? Okay. Tim, any questions at all here? Anybody would ever have for? Okay. Well, I would say this. I coached high school basketball here for 10 years, and I know all the obstacles. I know I see a lot of guys that I coached with and against here that you're facing. I did the same thing you're doing, obviously, and I don't face the same obstacles you do now. Who's in the gym today, waiting to see if your football players that are playing basketball are going to get hurt, to see if your football team makes a playoff, and when you can start practice and sweeping the gym floor and driving your players all over the country for summer leagues and everything else you guys do. So no one appreciates what you guys do more than I do. But yet here you are. Here you are on a Saturday morning down here, hoping maybe pick up something. I take no respects out more than I do. So I appreciate the fact that you're here. Thanks for coming down. If anybody here would want to come and watch West Liberty play this year up on the hilltop, let us know. We'll get you prime seats right there in the front row. Bring your team wherever you want.